March to the wall season, brother.
This is
American Indian movement. This way, Michael.
all people. I had my rear too.
All good.
Obama's a crook.
This is true.
Michael. Obama is a crook.
Not true. Same.
There's a man over here who wants to have my baby. It's a Colorado kind of love. I want you to know that not only are you not alone, the people across this country who now support this movement, you've seen the polls, right?
Yes.
That the National Journal poll, 59% of the American public supports the goals and the aims of the Occupy Wall Street movement. That's incredible. 59%. 59. You know, I mean, this movement is only 6 weeks old. Those of you who are my age and older, if you remember the other movements, when the Civil Rights Movement was 6 weeks old, it didn't have 59% of the American people behind it. When the women's movement began, it did not have 59% of the American people behind it. When the gay rights movement began, it did not have 59% of the American people behind it. You already have 59%. So, it's ours to mess up, isn't it? Right? Because, you know, the hard part in any movement is trying to convince people to come along with you. The people are already with us. How did that happen? How did this get organized so fast? Well, it's because we had some very skillful and effective organizers. I would like to give you their names. Goldman Sachs, Citibank, Bank of America, BP, General Motors, Exxon Mobil, General Electric, Fox News. They organized this.
Yes, they did.
Because they got too greedy. For many years, we were willing to tolerate just plain old greedy. We didn't like it, but we didn't do anything about it. And I guess that sent the wrong message to them. I guess it told them that, well, they're not doing anything about this greed. Let's do some more greed. And they kept taking and taking and taking. And they kept trying to figure out new ways to make life miserable for people who just wanted a roof over their heads. For people who just wanted to see a doctor when they got sick. For students who just wanted to go to school without having a debt on their back at 22 years old. And they kept thinking, this is how we do it. We screw people out of their homes. We don't let them go see a doctor. Or if they have insurance, let's make sure we don't pay the bill. Let's make these students servants at 22 years old. Slaves to the debt that we've put on their backs.
Here, here.
It's wage slaves, that's right.
Here, here.
That, you know, historians, I believe that's what they're going to call us. They're going to call us all wage slaves because we had to do this in order to get by just for the basic essentials of survival. We had to go along and tolerate young guys are thinking today, shit! We overplayed our hand!
Now they're pissed!
We should have just been happy with 5 mansions! And 3 yachts! And 6 summer homes! Why couldn't I have just been happy with 6 summer homes? Now they're occupying the entire damn country! I want to tell you something. I want to tell you. Hang on. I want to say this. The guys who are with me here are dressed kind of nice. If you've read my book, these are ex-Special Forces guys who
Answer the question.
So they yes, these are veterans who are here to keep me safe for all the obvious reasons.
Speak your mind.
Because you're more important than Obama.
Well, let me just say what I wanted to say here. That I know a lot of us keep saying that we're not going to win because they've got the money. They buy.
Stop being black.
They buy the politicians. All right, just hang on, sir. Just hang on. Everybody hang on. They buy the politicians, and this is true. They buy the Republicans. They buy the Democrats. They buy the Democrats a little cheaper. But they're all at the same trough. And the trough has to be taken away from them. If that doesn't happen, then we're not going to be able to fix this. Corporations are not people. And as somebody said, that until Texas executes a corporation, I will not say that they are people. Whoever said that, I thought that was very funny. But here's my point that I want to make. Even though they've got the money. You know, Martin Luther King knew that the sheriffs had more dogs, had more hoses, had more guns. Didn't matter. It didn't matter. The women who started the early feminist movement in the 1800s who thought women should have the right to vote. Imagine what they were up against. They wanted an amendment passed to the Constitution, and not a single woman would get the vote on that amendment. That must have seemed like a huge mountain. How are we going to get over that mountain? Because only men can vote. And yet they did it. Nobody sat around saying, well, no, we have no votes. We have no votes. How are we going to get the right to vote? We have no votes. How are we going to have civil rights? They've got the guns. How are we going to have civil rights? Don't fall into the trap of saying they've got the money, they buy these elections. Yes, of course, but they don't have one thing, and that's the Constitution of the United States. Still says one person, one vote.
Yeah.
When you close that curtain at the voting booth, their hand is not on your hand. And the richest 400 Americans who own more than 150 million Americans combined. They must, I'm sure they feel really good that they can buy any politician. But when it comes to election time, they only have one vote per person. There are only 400 votes. We are 150 million. We're 200 million. We need to take heart that we have the power. The power is now in our hands. But it's not just about elections. It's not just about voting. You know, I was on CNN the other night and he was asking, well, what candidates are you guys going to get behind?
No kidding! We already co-opted! will not be co-opted.
What Senate bill? What Senate bill are you going to get behind? And I said, Anderson. It's a guy with two last names.
Anderson.
I said
360.
I said, Anderson. This you're trying to think the old way. Everybody here has worked for candidates, has voted, has gotten behind bills, has written to their members of Congress. And what did that get us? Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going to vote. Doesn't mean that we're not going to get behind bills.
That's right.
But you're missing the point of this movement. This is not about politicians. This is about the people. This is about the people saying, you, the politicians, serve us. You are there, the will of the people. You will no longer serve the 400. If you do, you will be removed. So you're right. Do not let this movement be co-opted. Yeah. Politicians, political parties, anybody with an agenda, whatever.